Hi, I'm Kimmy Rose. This week is July the 5th, and I'm here to share with you this week's vibe and mantra. July the 5th through the 11th, 2018 AD. I don't know why I say that. I always do, so maybe it's just my thing, okay? I like to say AD. Anyways, it's been an interesting week. I've had a lot of people that I've been talking to, but you know, I tend to focus and really listen to other people, you know, with energy, but then I also look at what's going on with myself. My friend Cheryl Clark, who's been an astrologer for, I wouldn't even say the number of years, all I can tell you is for a long time. I went and took an astrology class, and she said to me, she goes, you don't need to learn all the details as much as you need to know that you feel things. You know, you're going to pick up the vibration. So I can see what's going on with the planets, and I can pick up how they are working. But not only that, I'm going to be experiencing things about 1 to 2 weeks before other people. That doesn't mean that some of you might not go through that. It'd be really cool for you to figure out, you know, where you fit in that, because it's an amazing thing. Astrology, to me, is connected to frequency, which is connected to Vedas, which is when you read in different texts. In the beginning was the word. Word has sound. Sound affects us. The different planets have different feelings. Like Mars can be strong. You know, Mars can also, you know, invoke feelings. Venus does different things, you know, different planets. My planet Uranus which rules Aquarius, can be very zip, zip, do it quick, let's go, let's not think about it, we change, let's do things different. So what I wanted to explain to you before I start with the vibe is, how do I get the vibe? How do I bring the vibe in? What I do is I feel what's going on, and then I love to go, there's a couple people I like to check out. Kepacha is one of the astrologers that I think is absolutely wonderful with New Paradigm Astrology. Also, Cafe Astrology. I love to, you know, Rick Levine, if I said Levine. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but I think you're awesome, and I love to see what you're doing. And then I also love the YouTube channel, Namaste Today. And actually, I will list that at the bottom because, yeah, I just love the energy and what's being shared. So to me, it's more about feeling and vibration. And I always like to say, if you can be in touch with the planets, you can be in touch with what's going on within you. Because the planets have a lot to do with how we feel. They affect us. They affect our emotions. Not only us, they affect the world around us. Watch animals. Animals are very connected to what the planets are doing. So if you want to learn about a little bit of astrology, learn about what the planets teach you, what feelings they give you. I teach intuition development, but I teach it through our natural senses. Smelling, tasting, touching, seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting. You know, the more we literally get in touch with what is coming in, we can actually elevate our feelings, we can elevate our energy, and we can elevate to a point where we move up into the collective. We can actually elevate our awareness. And the more we create what you call hyper-awareness, not in a bad way, the more we can guide our lives. And that's my purpose. So my purpose is to share with you the vibe, the intuitive feeling, and that also is accompanied by the astrology. And by knowing how that works, you can know what's coming up for this week. And hey, this is about you looking at, there's some benefits to what comes up, and there's also maybe some things you want to watch out for. And if you can really use that as a tool, it can be so powerful and so valuable. So this week's vibe, and I want you just to really not like take notes, don't worry about it, just feel with me. You know, get in touch with the vibration and the feeling. So this is a week right now that we're going to be really, really, as I've been talking over the last couple weeks, getting in touch with kind of like our life purpose, life map. Things have been revealed to us, okay? We've been shown things. So it's really important for you to understand that the things that are being shown to you are now right there. And here's what it is. We don't have to put our mental mind into it as much as we need to really, really put into consideration the fact that the universe, that the planets, everything around us, whether we fight it or not, if we can just get our minds out of the way and we can allow ourselves to be in awareness, so we need the logic, feeling, and allow the trust and the intention of what's going on to guide us. So here's this week's vibe. So the weekly vibe, this is a good time to ask yourself, what sort of thoughts, mental habits would you like to further commit to in your life? Is it tranquility, equanimity, a better mindfulness practice? What qualities would you like to develop? Maybe a little bit more patience, generosity, and kindness, confidence, focus, concentration. This is a good time to seed better habits, routines, and healthier perspectives that you would like to see grow over the next several months. If you suddenly started to wonder what is missing in your life or have this urge to clarify and clear your calendar so that nothing gets between you and the things that matter most to you, you may be really sensitive to the Mars retrograde that's going on right now. Mars loves to move forward, but it also is in retrograde period. It reminds us that we can't be go, go, go all the time. Energy has to be focused on something. It wants to have a purpose to fulfill. Mars retrograde can help us to check in with our own limitations and assert them. To use the limitations as our own source of protection, which is very important. And if you're feeling depleted right now and in the need for an energy boost, ask yourself these questions. Where can you anticipate some good in your life? I think looking for the good sometimes can feel a little like a conflict sometimes. Ask yourself, what in my life or who in my life is in alignment with supporting my well-being and vision? Or better yet, shares the same vision. Over the past 2 months, this vision has become clearer and clearer, and I can assure you that you know right now exactly what you need to change in order to get there. In truth, you're the divine navigator of your own path. If you decide to take a look and allow someone to ride with you, make sure they've got the same destination, and surely you will be able to coast together. I'm not saying to blame the person that blocks you. Take a look back in your life and see how the events that seemed disruptive at the time actually shifted your life, and know that maybe that person was necessary for you to really realize a little bit more about you. Maybe they served their purpose and gave you a clearer view about yourself, and then you can give gratitude for this. And know there's a willingness sometimes to work together and fix it, and if not, the universe will clear things. Sense that empowerment and focus in your life. That is really important. So, just to sum it up, right now, over the last, and if you watch the previous vibes, I see them. They have like the storyline. They flow together. So what's been happening is we've been shown, okay, what is it that we need to get out of our lives? In simplicity. What do we need more in our lives to keep us in alignment with being able to receive? So we have a life script. I call it the Akashic Records. It's a vibration, and you know it. Because if you're doing something and you're feeling like, this doesn't feel right for me, what makes you think that you have to stay doing that? The only thing that makes you think that you have to stay in that energy is an imprint that society has made on you. I want to give you a good example of a history lesson with that. Augustus Caesar. Augustus Caesar, when he came into rule, actually that was a time when Jesus was here. And if you ever want to know, how did people see Jesus, like people in the government and that, they saw him as like this like troublemaker. He was like a troublemaker. He was caught shaking people up, kind of like an activist. I would say Jesus was probably one of the biggest activists of the time. So Augustus Caesar needed to find a better way when he came into rule to control things, to control things and to get people, you know, in his order. Now remember, we do in sense need to have rules, and yet if you look at some countries that are a little freer in their rules, they do have less crime, okay? So it all depends, you know, there's balance and everything. So inside of you, you have a feeling and a gauge, and if you can get in touch with that, like I've been sharing, like get in touch with your yeses and nos, and that's something that I teach when I teach Waking Up Your Intuition, and I do have a book called Wake Up Your Intuition. If you get in touch with those things, you'll know this is not good for me, or maybe it is. But some things that may be good for you might not be the best for other people. So that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to go back to Augustus Caesar, but I just want to bring this in. People that aren't in alignment with your purpose, that doesn't mean that they're not good people. We all have tribes. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So this is a time where we're really moving into purpose. Come on, things have been shaken off a lot. I mean, you can see the way things are changing. Instead of being afraid, get excited, because you have the ability within you to know what you want. And if you know what you want, you can take this energy. And this is what this week's vibe and then the mantra is about. It's here to assist you to take that energy. So Augustus Caesar, we'll go back to this. He saw that people were starting to question things, questioning all the guilt rules, I'll say it, the rules and, you know, the scriptures, all the way things were being done, because here's this man, an amazing, loving man, Jesus, who came into this world, and he's teaching people that, you know, let's not punish people. Let's not make them feel guilty. Let's not, you know, take away who they are. And so what did Augustus Caesar do? He punished himself. That's what he did. He would actually do public displays. He brought his family in. And by the way, he had a daughter who would create what was kind of a wild, free-spirited person. And instead of keeping his life private, what he did was, when he made a mistake, he would set up, now we don't know, he could have made this up too, but because I believe if you really look at the history, he would see that things that were going on, and then he would publicly punish himself in front of people. Like, he would actually not eat. He'd say, I'm taking away food from myself, or I'm locking myself up because I did this wrong. So he ruled in a way where he was trying to gain people's trust, because, hey, if he's doing this and he's punishing himself, then we should listen, because if our ruler is doing it, then we should do it too. So without putting down the church, okay, because I believe church has a great purpose when it comes to community and connection, and there's a lot we can learn. But if you're going to church and you're starting to feel like people don't really care what you feel, or, you know, like they're not in touch with what you think, if you're getting judged, you're a bad person if you think this way, or if you're doing certain things. That's kind of a good example of how Augustus Caesar did it. He was creating these rules, and because people a lot of times can be quite, like, simply lazy. They would rather have something to go by and somebody to blame than take self-responsibility. So what's happening now is we are in a place where self-responsibility is there. And guess what? If you're not listening to that, if you're not listening to that inner guide, you're going to get sick, you're going to get stressed out, and you will not be able to accomplish things. Why do I know that? Because that has been a guiding source of my life over things, beating myself up, feeling like, hey, you know what? I know this stuff. I'm aware of this stuff, but I'm not listening to it. And the thing is I got stuck in essence, the kind of maybe what this is what he went through, you know, where I just took myself out of things because it got so overwhelming that I felt like I got to do this just perfect and right, because otherwise I'm a hypocrite. And what has happened since then is it really pulled me down. And now what I'm doing is I'm standing up here in pure transparency, and please call me out if you know me and maybe you saw something that, hey, you're saying this, but why aren't you working on that? I'm telling you, I'm saying this because it's something I've received and it's an energy that I know I need to work on it. And I'm here to share the vibe with you. And it's a vibe that I've been receiving, and hope that you can get in touch with your own vibe and know that we are all beautiful prisms of light. We're getting these messages and we're all here to teach each other and work perfectly together. This is a time where we're really starting to look at our vibe and attract our tribe. So whatever we do, and this is something I have to learn, is be more gentle with myself and be more gentle with people around me. Just because they're not doing exactly what I think is in alignment with me, the more angry I get, the more I get pulled down the rabbit hole, the less I do what I'm supposed to do. So that's the awareness that came to me. And I think it's important to really look at that, because what I didn't want to do in the very beginning was get you to start thinking, ooh, well, that person's hurting me, or that person's taking me from my purpose. Most likely, the person who is maybe not doing exactly what you feel works is just showing you more about what you want. You're learning more about what you want in your life. So, like hot and cold water. Some of us like to take a bath in really hot water. Some of us like to take a bath in lukewarm water. And some people even like to take cold showers. Now, I know there's different reasons you can take cold showers. I'm trying to be funny, but no. We really need to know that we're not all alike, but we need to understand that law of opposite. And just because somebody's opposite of us doesn't mean we need to literally get mean and angry, because we can actually, and I have experienced this, my friend Skip said, I never saw that side of you. And it's a side that got really angry and then will say things. And then I can tell you, some of the people around me, they can get angry and they don't feel bad about it. But for me, it wipes me out. I get exhausted. I get tired. It doesn't feel good to get angry. And I even believe even people who have a lot of anger, who act like they don't have feelings, somewhere inside, underneath the layers, that pureness and fullness is there. So no, number one, you are whole. Number two, how do you know what your purpose is? I can tell you now, this week, you're going to be, you don't have to mentalize it, you're going to be seeing things show up that are going to say, and it'll be people that might say, that's not supposed, you should get that out of your way, or maybe you shouldn't do that. You're not, start listening to the signs, but then don't follow what everybody says. Start focusing on the fact that, hey, you know what? If I have this in my life, does it block me from really doing what I need to do? That's the key. Because I'll tell you, I live in a place we call T-Town. T-Town is a place where a lot of people, Toledo, they work in factories, and it's just easier. You go, you work, you get your check, and then you don't, and some people don't have to do this kind of work, okay? Some people, that type of work is perfect because it doesn't involve, a lot of stress, and this is a creative, I'm more of a creative person. So we shouldn't judge people like that. We should just see that everybody is meant to do something different. But if you're a person, and because you're in T-Town, and you feel like that's where you need to be, you need to work there, chances are, if you're not liking it, you got something inside of you that is crying out. And I am telling you, you're getting the message from me. Listen, what is it when you were a child that you liked to do? And what was your programming? Were you told that if you do not, have 2 cars and have this and this and this and that, you're a failure? If you're operating from that, then what you're doing is operating from a space of not being in touch with your ability to manifest. Remember, energy flows where you direct it. So you're directing the energy to, I'm afraid, everybody's going to judge me, so I got to go do that. Because I'll tell you what, you can be successful in anything you want to do. Anything. Somebody told me, oh, you'll never be able to survive and do readings or have a store. I wasn't raised to believe that. My parents were always the type of people that anything I want to do, I can do. And I know I've been a parent. I've been a parent that will tell me, I mean, you look at my kids, they do. They go out and they do it. And even when I saw within my children some limitations in their thinking, try to tell them, you know what? That's what you feel right now, but you have everything in you that's there to guide you. Your gifts and talents are going to come out. So I'm going to say, as much as you encourage other people in your life, as much as you encourage other people in your life, I'm going to tell you to encourage yourself. If you've always wanted to sing or pick something up and do it this week, because you will be supported. And if something comes in to block you and say, you shouldn't do that because that's not logical, all I can say is ask yourself, how many people out there are doing it and being successful, that are successful at what they're doing? It doesn't mean that they have more luck than you. What it means is they took the chance. And this week invites you to take the chance. And the only reason that if you're not hearing it or you're not supported is because you're not letting your vibe settle. That's why I was saying mindfulness, meditation, sitting. I like to take a bath. You know, whatever it is that you need to quiet down and really get in touch with you, because face it, we're in a world where there's information flowing from everywhere, and we can get bogged down and we forget how we feel. So this is what we're getting this week. The vibe is, you know what it is. Inside of you, you have already got the message. This is what I want for myself. And if you're getting these messages like, well, maybe I need to go do this, and if you feel like it's okay, and because it's going to support what you do, that's different, okay? But if you're feeling afraid that you need to go do that because this doesn't seem realistic, I'm going to tell you, when you step in the prism, that beautiful prism of light, and you really channel in your hopes and dreams and feelings out of that prism, you're the prism. Will be a beautiful rainbow of people, your tribe, there to support you. It's not hard when you're acting and operating in your full authenticity. This week's vibe is that your authenticity has been shown to you. Embrace it. You don't have to do anything with it this week, because trust me, over the next couple weeks, it'll take you. It'll move you forward, and you will be manifesting. And with that, I'm going to do the mantra. Just take a couple minutes just to maybe close your eyes, just to settle in and stop thinking so much about all the things I just said. And we'll simplify it. The vibe is it. You already got the feeling of what you should and shouldn't do. Flow with it. And watch. If you believe, you can make it move. Okay, we're going to start with the mantra. And before we do the mantra, ring the bell. There we go. And just bring things into center and just relax. And I want you to feel my words. You want to close your eyes, go for it. Or you can watch, whatever you want to do. The mantra for this week: I choose to live by choice and not by chance. To make changes, not excuses. To be motivated, not manipulated. To be useful, not used. To excel, not compete. I choose self-esteem, not self-pity. I choose to listen to my inner voice, not the random opinion of others. I choose to be me. I choose to be authentic. I am authentic. Bless you. Please take the time if you want to comment on anything, or if you have a question, or share with me what your mantra might be. Maybe your mantra might come to you, and others might be part of your tribe that are watching. But please make a comment and connect with people. That's what this is about. You know, it's about bringing you all together in the space and hoping that you can even meet other people of like mind, because your vibes attracting your tribe. Got a couple events that are going to be happening over the next week. We're going to be having an animal journey with CT Michael. I will post this. You'll see it in the video. And then on Monday nights at 7 o'clock, we give free readings, myself and the Dream Team, with Light the Way Prisms of Light. And if you want to get a hold of us, 734-854-1514, or you can go over to lighttheway.com, and how that is spelled is L-I-T-E, theway.com, and get a reading. You can get one with me or with one of our amazing readers. And if you want us to come to you, we will come to you. Love to share. Bless you. Namaste.